Welcome to Demon Tales. You've met them in nightmares. Now, meet them here. You must subscribe to us. Don't forget to click the bell icon. Otherwise, you will not survive.
The forest was a labyrinth of crooked, bone-white trees, their branches twisting like arthritic fingers in the fog. The path that wound toward the hill was barely visible, choked with thorns and rotting underbrush, the earth wet and soft, as if it had been soaking up blood instead of rain for centuries. Maya's boots sank with every step, her jeans ripped by brambles that seemed too deliberate, too hungry to be mere plants. She had heard the stories of the Hollow House. Stories were the bones of her trade. But the deeper she went, the woods began to resist, as if the earth itself wanted to bury her alive. When the trees finally broke, she saw it. The house on the hill, rotted yet massive. Black windows stared back, vines choking its bones. A stink rose from it, thick and clinging like spoiled meat. She froze, telling herself it was nerves, but something ancient whispered. She was brave. She had already walked into the trap. The front door was blackened wood, strangled with ivy, swollen with rot. She knocked. The sound was swallowed by the house, as if the walls were flesh, as if the wood inhaled her presence.
You're late!
The silence dragged on, until at last a crack appeared. A sliver of pale blue glared back at her through the gap. The door opened just wide enough. A tiny brittle figure appeared, skin stretched thin, hair a wiry white mess. Its mouth sneered with hunger. It moved stiffly, joints grinding in the quiet. Inside, the air collapsed around Maya, heavy and still. Dust veiled every surface, sheets ghosted the furniture, and the scent of mold, too sweet like rotting fruit, pressed into her lungs. And then she noticed it. A shadow on the stairs, perfectly still. Eyes glowed faintly, green like emeralds, rotting in the dark. A cat, or something like one, too still, too silent, watching her every move, patient and unblinking.
Come, sit.
I want to ask about your life here.
This house is hunger. It is my inheritance. It must be fed. Fed? Fed how? You'll stay.
That night, sleep was impossible. Maya lay on the brittle mattress, listening. Scratching came from inside the walls,
We've been waiting.
slow and rhythmic, like fingernails clawing to escape.
Tear us out. Bone first.
She sat up, trembling, and saw him. A shadow at the doorway, green eyes burning in the dark. The cat tilted its head, too human, too knowing, as if listening to the house itself. By morning, the storm was gone, but daylight exposed the house's rot. She followed the scratching down a long corridor to a locked door. Desperation clawed at her as she bent a hairpin into the lock. The click was deafening in the silence.
The hunger speaks. It must be fed weekly. The walls listen. Eleanor Marsh, 1923.
She flipped through, heart racing. This wasn't history or
Bone
gossip.
snap.
It was a feeding record. Names, dates, and what happened to those who never left the house.
It wasn't family history, wasn't quaint gossip, a record of feeding, names.
The hunger was the house itself, a parasite that had fused to its caretaker. And every caretaker, every generation.
A new one is coming.
Smiling faces, a
June
boy,
1923.
a young woman, an older man.
Maya. Oh, God. No. You found it! You're not! You're not! You're not human! I'm the host! No! Please! 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 Stay away from me! Help me! Please help me! Ah, it's not her! Help me! Why? No! No! Ah! No! Leave me alone! Help me! Please, God, no! Please, no! Please, no, no!
She bolted down the hall, boots slipping on the slick floor. Limbs bounded behind her. She yanked the front door, locked. The wood groaned, but wouldn't give. The scratching in the walls rose to a shriek now. Dozens of voices screaming in chorus.
Run, run, run! Run, run! Run!
The creature lunged, limbs clattering, teeth snapping inches from her face.
Help me!
She grabbed a chair and smashed the window. Glass burst outward. She dragged herself through, bleeding, fell into the yard, mud swallowing her knees. Behind her, the house groaned alive, its screeches shaking the ground. Sobbing, she staggered into the storm-thrashed grass. She didn't look back, but the house's shadows followed. Maya stumbled down the hill, breath ragged. Glass cuts burned on her arms and face, blood streaking her jacket. Mud dragged at her boots, but she kept moving, knowing if she stopped, the house would reach her. The trees swallowed her, shadows killing the last light. Her car was below. She had to keep moving. Branches lashed her face. Her lungs burned.
Behind her, she heard it. Not footsteps, but claws tearing through dirt, limbs dragging over bark. The forest groaned, roots writhing, tangling her path as if the house's veins reached into the soil. She tripped, slammed into the ground. The breath knocked from her lungs.
I can't breathe!
Her cheek sank into cold, wet earth. Before she could rise, a weight slammed onto her back, pinning her down.
Oh, God!
Sharp claws pressed against her, and she screamed, the sound tearing through the forest. She thrashed, kicking wildly, but the weight bore her down. Not heavy, not massive, but deliberate, like a spider pinning prey before the feast. Before she could rise, a weight slammed onto her back, pinning her down. Sharp claws pressed against her, and she screamed, the sound tearing through the forest. Her vision swam with white agony as she was dragged backward. Blood streaked the leaves behind her. She clawed at dirt and rocks, nails snapping, skin ripping. Desperate to stop herself, nothing slowed her slide back up the hill. The house swallowed her like a throat. Inside, the air was heavy, wet, and rotting. She hit the drawing room floor, her cheek cracking against the wood, her blood mixed with older stains, dried and dark in the floorboards. Proof that many had lain here before her.
I was the watcher, but I am the lure. The house brings you. She feasts, and I succor.
She screamed as its talons tore into her, shallow at first, then deliberate. Pain ripped through her as her body gave way beneath its grip.
The house drinks your terror first. It makes the flesh sweet. You'll hear them soon. All the ones who begged.
And she did. The walls shook. The whispers returned, louder now. Overlapping screams, pleas for mercy, echoes of pain. She heard them all. A chorus, trapped inside the walls, each soul reliving its agony. The claws sank into her abdomen, tearing layer by layer. She screamed, her throat raw, every sound a white, hot agony.
No one leaves. They all beg. That is the flavor.
The door opened to a cellar carved deep into the earth. Walls slick with black mold and living veins. Chains hung from beams. Bones, scraps of skin and hair still clinging. She was thrown onto a cold stone slab. Chains clamped her wrists and ankles. The feeding began. Claws raked her legs, tearing flesh. A limb tore her arm from shoulder to elbow.
Watch. You must watch as the house is fed.
The creature tore deeper, feeding slowly. Maya gagged on her screams as pain flooded her body, nerves burning out, then igniting again with every cut. The cellar walls quivered. Voices howled in ecstasy. She understood. She wasn't being devoured. She was being joined, feeding the house itself.
Now you belong, and tomorrow another will come. We make sure of it.
Outside, the house fell silent. On the hill, it waited, windows watching. In the highest window, green eyes glowed. The house was fed and still hungry.